Hello everyone, this is part 12 of What If Naruto Fell in Love with Hinata in High School, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to share, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Join my membership, the perks are great. It's in the description. Be sure to like and subscribe, it gives me more motivation. Enjoy. 2. Naruto. A voice said. Naruto weakly opened his eyes. He heard the sound of a machine's steady beeping. He was lying on a bed. He stared around him. Sakura and Hinata were on both his sides, both of them looking worried. Sakura, you're safe, he gave a weak smile. What happened? He said weakly. Try not to talk too much, Hinata warned. You really hurt, she almost cried. The warehouse blew up. We found your body under some rubble, Sakura said. You were hurt pretty badly and we rushed you to the hospital. You've been asleep since yesterday. Naruto took a deep breath and looked down at his body. He realized that his torso and arms were covered in bandages. Where's Sho? We couldn't find him, Sakura told him. Just try to go back to sleep. Yeah, that is what's best right now, Hinata said. I'll come back to visit later. She bent over Naruto and gave him a kiss on his forehead. Naruto smiled, then closed his eyes and fell back asleep. Let's go, Sakura, Hinata said and left the room. The two exited the hospital. So tell again what happened, Hinata said. Well, yesterday I saw Naruto walking away from school. He said that he wasn't going because you were sick, so there was no point. I tried to get him to go back, but instead I ended up joining him. I got KPED by this guy named Sho and he made Naruto fight him. I was dragged out and two of the guys set the warehouse on fire. I ran for help and by the time I got back it blew up, Sakura explained. You aren't thinking this is my fault, are you? No, Hinata said. Neither of you could have known what could have happened, she said coldly. Listen, Hinata, please don't be mad. I am going to do everything I can to make it up to him. I'm not mad. I have to go now, she said and took off. Sakura let out a sigh. I hope that we can all just move through all of this. Hayato peeped inside Naruto's room and went back out. Yeah, they're gone, he said into his phone. Thank God, Eria said as she came out of another patient's room. So, this is the guy you've fallen head over heels for? Hayato asked as he sat down on a chair. Eria blushed like crazy when she entered his room. Aha, she said shyly. Do you know what happened to him? She asked as she sat down right next Naruto. Let me take a look, he said as he pulled up the chart next to his bedside. He scanned it over a few times. A few broken bones, some burns, a lot of cuts, but none of them seemed serious. What the hell did this guy do? He looked up from the chart. See, can I have a few minutes alone with him? Eria blushed again. See, can I have a few minutes alone with him? He copied her. Ha ha. You should see yourself. Are you gonna kiss him or something? He laughed. No, I'm just gonna talk to him for a while. Eria turned her face. Whatever'll be downstairs in the lobby. Naruto, were you in a fight or something? I feel kind of silly talking to you like this. She turned her head to see if Hayato really left and was not spying on her. I just want to say that even though you like Hinata, I won't give up. I am going to try to make you like me. She checked behind her once more. Then she bent over Naruto and kissed him on the lips. I kissed Naruto. Naruto shuffled around a bit in his bed. Hinata, he whispered. Eria drooped her head and walked out of the room, looking depressed. Even in his sleep he's thinking of her. Done already? Hayato asked. He was reading a magazine in chair. Yeah, Eria responded but didn't look at him. What's wrong? He dropped the magazine and walked over to her. Did something happen? Eria did not say anything. Come on, you can tell me. How long have we been friends? He shook her shoulders. Let's go somewhere else first. She looked up at him and then around the room. I don't want to talk here. They went outside and began walking down the street. Well, I did kiss him. She blushed and looked down at the ground. I knew you would. Hayato laughed. Well, I was not even planning on that. You got the idea into my head. She looked and yelled at him. Okay, so, How did that make you sad? That was not it, it's what he said after. Hayato walked closer to her. What did he say? He said, Hinata. That means that he's thinking about her even in his dreams. This plan is not going to work. She sniffled. Hey, don't say that. He wrapped his arm around her in comfort. You just got to do something that will make him notice you. Something really amazing. Like what? She turned her head to face him. Show him your BS. He laughed. Eria turned red and turned away from him. Kidding. I'll think of something. I already got Hinata thinking about me. He boasted. I thought you said that the spell wasn't working that well. I know, but yesterday something happened. He began. I was walking around the hospital visiting other patients, then I decided to pay Hinata another visit. That's when I saw it. His eyes lit up. There was some guy with a nose cast trying to climb out the window with Hinata over his shoulder. He had put tape over her mouth so that no one could hear her. I rushed to her rescue. I ran over to them and kicked his left knee. He got put off balance and fell on one knee. I picked up Hinata and laid her on the bed. I turned around and finished the guy off with a kick to the side of his face. She thanked me from the bottom of her heart and gave me a hug. He grinned. She will think of me as her knight in shining armor, and the spell will have more of an effect on her, and soon she'll be crazy over me and dump Naruto. And if he still loves her, like I said, we'll think of something to get him to notice you. I'm going to the hospital now, father. Hinata informed her father. He perked up from reading his papers on his desk. Hospital. Are you not feeling well again? He asked. No, it's not that. I'm going to go visit a friend. He was admitted there yesterday. She informed him. Is she okay? He asked. It's a guy friend. He seems to be doing fine fight now, and I want to check up on him. Her father looked deep in thought. He looked at the clock on the wall and then back at his daughter. It's 7 o'clock. Try to be back early, all right? Hinata smiled and thanked her father. I won't be too long. She went out to the front door and called her butler for a limo. When it approached, she climbed inside and sat down. She informed the driver where to go and sat back. When she arrived, she rushed to Naruto's room and found Jiraiya beside Naruto laughing it up. Hinata. Naruto sat up. Jiraiya turned and saw her by the door. Hinata. He grinned. Glad you're here. What am I here for then? Jiraiya whined. All you kept talking about was all the female nurses that walk by the room. It got old after the second one. Naruto said. I'm going to get something to eat. Jiraiya pouted and left him alone. How are you feeling? She said as she sat down in the spot where Jiraiya was. Pretty damn good. Naruto laughed. The doctors are impressed at how fast I'm recovering. They say that I should be out by Friday if this keeps up. That's great. Hinata smiled and hugged him tight. Ugh. Naruto groaned. I'm sorry. She yelped as she released him. It's okay. That's nothing compared to what Gramps is going to do when I get home. He chuckled. Well, what's been happening at school? Nothing much. But you are going to have a lot of catching up to do by missing 4 days of school. Great, more work. Naruto cried. Hinata giggled and they kept talking for about an hour. Hinata decided that she had to get back home before her father worried. They kissed each other goodbye and she left. I hope that nothing like this happens again. Sakura could have been hurt and something like this ever happens to Hinata. Naruto shook the thought out of his head. Friday. Shikamaru, Choji, Hinata, Sakura all went to pick up Naruto from the hospital. School felt kind of weird without him there. Choji said. Yeah, well, he'll be out now so we can all go out to a movie or something. Shikamaru said. We'll do what he wants to do. Hinata said as they all walked up to Naruto's room. When they walked into this room, Naruto was changing into his street clothes. Hey guys, what's up? He hopped out of bed and kissed Hinata. Sakura blushed a little and looked away. Come on guys, we don't want to see that gushy stuff. Choji groaned. Sorry. He stepped away from Hinata. So why are you guys here? We decided that since you're getting out we could do something together, like watch a movie or something. Shikamaru said. Sounds good to me, but I'll have to stop by the house to pick up some money. Naruto said. Explain to me why we're going to a movie theater in Konoha. Gaara said. It'll take a while to get there. Kankuro said as he took his seat. No one invited you to come, you know. Temari said as she stretched in her chair. Yeah, but only you have money right now and offered to pay. Gaara said as he looked out the window. You're going to see that Shikamaru kid, aren't you? Kankuro gave a sly grin. Temari lightly blushed. Yup, him and some friends are supposedly going to a movie and they invited me to come along. She smiled back. Don't worry, you don't have to watch the same movie as us, she said as the bus traveled into Konoha. You do know there is going to be hell when you get back, right? Jiraiya said as Naruto walked out of his room with his wallet. Yeah, I know. It'll be along the lines of, you skipped school, blah blah blah, trouble, blah blah, look at Hinata. She's grown, Naruto said as he walked down the stairs. Hey, I mean it, there will trouble when you get back. You're lucky I'm even letting you go at all, Jiraiya yelled at him. See ya, Gramps. Naruto waved as he walked out the house. Jiraiya let out a sigh. Just when I thought that Brat was changing, he said to himself as he walked into the living room and switched the television on. Hey, Belicious Ninjas is on right now. He reached for the remote and turned to the channel. Yeah, he drawled as the female ninjas with huge BS jumped around the temple training. Yeah, was I mad at something just now? He scratched his head and shrugged it off. Come on Shikamaru, wait up, Sakura yelled as Shikamaru kept speeding up. Yeah buddy, where's the fire? Naruto said. Is someone meeting you there or something? Shikamaru twitched a bit and slowed down enough for the rest of the group to catch up. No, just really want to see the movie. But we have not even decided on what to watch, Hinata said. Naruto will decide, right? She looked to her right and smiled at him. He should. All he's had to watch was that crappy hospital TV, Sakura said. And more importantly, eat that horrible food. Choji stuck his tongue out. They all arrived at the theater, and were looking at all the posters. What looks good? Naruto thought as he looked over the posters. What about this one? Red Steel. He pointed to a poster that had a guy sneaking up behind a soldier with his sword ready to kill. It looks actiony. He laughed. They bought their tickets and went inside. Except for Shikamaru, who waited outside near the entrance. I'll be in a little while, he told the others. He waited patiently by the door. Maybe she won't come. She didn't say yes, but she didn't say no either. What a drag. What's up with Shikamaru? Naruto whispered as he took his seat in the middle of the row. Not sure. He just kept on insisting we go to the movies today, Hinata whispered back as she sat on Naruto's right. Yeah, maybe he is planning on meeting someone here, Sakura said as she sat on Naruto's left. If he is, it's probably that Temari girl I met the other day, Choji said sitting next to Sakura. I got the feeling they got the hots for each other, but it doesn't look like either of them will admit it just yet. He laughed and grabbed a handful of popcorn and shoved it in his mouth. The three of them looked at Choji, all thinking the same thing. He likes a girl, they all said. Yeah, but you didn't hear it from me. He stuffed more popcorn in his mouth. Wonder what she looks like, Sakura thought aloud. She can't be any cuter than Hinata, Naruto said as Hinata blushed. He put his arm around her shoulder and laughed. Sakura tried her best not to look at them. Why am I getting jealous? I should be happy for her. Sure, I like Naruto, but. Goo. Sakura got out of her seat and walked out of the aisle. Where you going? Naruto asked. Just going to the little girl's room, she said. Is that her? Shikamaru squinted his eyes and saw Temari walking in his direction with two others. Those her brothers. Shikamaru. Temari yelled as she got closer. We made it, she giggled. Those your bros, huh? Shikamaru said. Let em guess, you Gaara, he pointed at him, and you're Kankuro, right? He pointed at him. Great, now we can get the formalities out the way. Temari, hand over the money so we can buy the tickets, Kankuro ordered. Hold on a minute, Temari growled. Gaara just remained silent and walked over to the pay booth. So what movie are we watching? Temari said in a cheerful tone as she walked closer to Shikamaru, who was almost blushing. Red Steel, he said nervously. Sweet, I've been sing to see that. She ran up to the booth and bought her ticket. When she got back to her brothers, Kankuro stuck his hand out. Our money. Right. She took out $20 and handed it to them. I expect you to pay me back. What? I thought you were doing this out of generosity, Kankuro cried. Nope. She and Shikamaru went inside. Gaara isn't much of a talker, is he? Shikamaru asked. Not really. She put her finger to her chin, he's mostly by himself. He's a bit antisocial. She smiled. They walked to the snack counter. There wasn't a big line, so they only waited a few seconds before ordering. Can I help? Hey Shikamaru, what's up? Kiba greeted him. You work here? Shikamaru asked. Yeah. He looked at Temari. Out on a date, are you? You should have come at night, it's way too early to anything in here. Shikamaru growled and Temari giggled. We're not dating, we're just friends. Sure. Whatever you say. Kiba laughed. So popcorn, huh? Yeah. Temari answered. Want a hot dog too? Kiba pointed to the roasting hot dogs behind him. Sure, why not? Temari said. Shikamaru paid as Temari walked off with the snacks. Hey, you know where Naruto's been all week? Neji got kind of pissed that he didn't show up today. He's with us, he said and walked off. When they got inside, the previews had just finished. They decided to sit in the back. Think this movie has any kissing scenes? She asked. Well, I'm not sure. Shikamaru stuttered. Temari giggled and put her head on his shoulder. Oh man, what do I do? He slowly put his arm around her, not sure if that was the right thing to do. Gaara and Kankuro had sat down in Naruto's aisle. Gaara sat down next to Hinata with Kankuro next to him. This movie better be good, Gaara said in an almost menacing tone. Hinata looked at him from the corner of her eye. This guy looks kind of scary. Relax, it's not like you're going to have to pay her back. Kankuro said. It would still be a waste of my time if it's crap. He answered back. Pissed Naruto. Hinata whispered to him. The boy sitting next to me, doesn't he seem a little violent? Naruto took a quick glance at him. Yeah. He whispered back. He has those, get in my way and your eyes. Let's just ignore him. Hinata nodded and brought her eyes back to the screen. To be safe, she leaned on Naruto. Excuse me. Coming through. Pardon. Sorry, Sakura said as she tried to get back to her seat. She had lost her balance and fell on top of Gaara. Gaara let out a low growl and Sakura immediately got off of him and sat down. Kind of cute, huh? Kankuro nudged Gaara. Gaara looked over at her and shrugged his shoulders. Not my type. Looks kind of useless. After the movie. That was awesome. Naruto yelled as they exited the room. I know, right? Choji yelled as well. Awesome character, awesome kings, awesome action, awesome everything. Sakura groaned. You know you could use another word besides awesome. But it was awesome. Naruto defended Choji. Gaara and Kankuro walked out as well. Gaara had what appeared to be a small grin on his usually expressionless face. Like the movie, huh? Temari asked as she walked up to her brothers. That's unusual. You hardly ever like any movies. Well, this one was different. Now I'll be going to the arcade. Gaara said as he walked to the movie theater main lobby. Well, did you smooch with what's his face? Kankuro asked. That's none of your business. Temari shouted as she hit him over the head with her fist. What's going on? Shikamaru asked as he walked out of the theater. Nothing at all. Temari said. Now are you going to introduce me to your friends now or later? I guess it might as well be now. Shikamaru sighed. Hope they don't do anything embarrassing. He walked to the arcade where he suspected Naruto and the others might be. Sure enough, Naruto was already stuffing bills into the machine and receiving tokens. Hinata and Sakura watched as he grabbed handfuls of tokens and split them evenly among his friends. He walked over to them and cleared his tea. Oh hey Shikamaru. Where did you go? You missed an awesome movie. Naruto laughed. I watched it, with my friend. He blushed as he said that. He motioned to Temari to come on over. This is Temari. I'm his girlfriend. She giggled and kissed his cheek. What? Naruto, Sakura, Choji, and Shikamaru yelled. Wait, why are you surprised, Shikamaru? Choji yelled. Well, I never asked her out. He said, shocked. But I can tell that you were already planning to, huh? Temari asked. Did you really think I didn't know? She raised her eyebrow. You're no good at hiding secrets. She giggled again. Now come on, let's play some games. She yelled and put a $10 bill into the machine. Congratulations on your first girlfriend, Shikamaru. Hinata said and walked off with Naruto. Choji and Sakura laughed as they walked away from him. Shikamaru stood there still dazed by what she had said until she came back and dragged him to a line. Look Hinata. Naruto pointed at a fighting game. Capcom vs SNK haven't played that in a while. He rushed over to the machine where Gaara was playing. He quickly stuffed 2 tokens into the machine. Here comes a new challenger. The machine roared. What? Gaara yelled. I was about to win. Sorry about that. I just assumed that you wouldn't mind fighting me. Naruto laughed nervously. Crap, I didn't see who was playing. You want to fight? Gaara said with a sadistic look in his eyes. Fine. Pick your characters. Ken, Ryo, Terry. Naruto gulped. Hinata put her hand on Naruto's shoulder. Good luck. Naruto winked at her and looked back at the screen. This battle is about to explode. The announcer said as the characters jumped into the arena. Hadouken, Shoryuken, Tiger Uppercut, Buster Wolf. The characters jumped all over the screen, punches and kicks flying all over. Super combos activating every few seconds. In the end it was Terry versus Akuma, both down to their last few bits of energy, and when it was over Gaara came out the winner. Hey, and I was going easy on you. Gaara said as he continued his solo game. Aw man. Naruto groaned. Man, you suck. A voice said behind Naruto. Naruto turned around immediately and saw Sasuke grinning. What did you say? You lost, that means you suck. Sasuke laughed. Bet I can kick your ass. Naruto growled and held out 2 tokens in his hand. That a challenge? Fine. Marvel vs. Capcom right now. Sasuke said, and they walked over to the machine. Over the last 2 weeks Naruto and Sasuke haven't exactly been getting along, but they haven't hated each other either. They tried to outdo each other in just about everything. Who could change into their PE uniform first, run faster, win in basketball, eat faster, lift more weights, who could do more push-ups. They both lost to Guy and Rock Lee, and just about anything you can think of. Hinata stared at the game. Is it okay if I fight you? She said innocently. Gaara gave her a look and nodded his head. Hinata put her tokens in and they began the fight. Meanwhile Temari and Shikamaru were waiting in line for their turn at a game. Do I really have to play this? Shikamaru groaned. Of course. You want your girlfriend to be happy, don't you? She said. Shikamaru sighed and gave up. We're next, get ready. She put her tokens inside the machine. Dance Dance Revolution. The machine blasted with music while Temari and Shikamaru chose their difficulty. Temari played on Expert, while Shikamaru picked Standard. Once the music began playing, Temari jumped around hitting all the arrows that came up the screen. Shikamaru was watching his feet and the screen, trying to hit the arrows. Watch the screen, not your feet. Temari shouted as she jumped. It's harder than it looks. He missed 16 arrows in a row. Grr. The small crowd behind them was cheering her on and trying to encourage Shikamaru. Once the song finished, Temari looked at him. That was a good warm-up song. Now let's move to tougher one. What? It's 5 songs for a token. I didn't mention that. Temari asked. Shikamaru shook his head. Oh well, hope you're ready to work up a sweat. Choji and Sakura walked around the arcade trying to decide what game to spend their tokens at. So Choji, Sakura started. What is it? How long do you think that Naruto and Hinata will last for? She asked. Why do you say that? No reason, I just want to know what others think. I think they'll last for the rest of the school year and it will end around midsummer. What about you? It's not really my place to say, but I think that they might be like those couples that end up marrying their first girlfriend. Looks that way to me anyways. Oh, here you go. She handed him her tokens. I don't really feel like playing anything. Games are not really my thing anyways. Tell them I had to leave somewhere. Bye. Choji smiled at all the tokens in his hand. I'll be happy for a while now. K.O. The game said as Ken and Spider-Man hit the floor at the same time. Naruto and Sasuke gulped and looked at their health. Double KO. Naruto cried. You got to be kidding me. That's the 3rd time now. Same goes here, I can't believe you are at the same level as ME. Sasuke pointed to himself. One more time. Naruto smirked as he inserted his tokens into the machine. I got a good feeling I'm gonna win this time. Please. Sasuke turned around. I've had enough of this game. He walked away. I'm moving to a different game now. Hey wait, I already picked my characters. Naruto shouted. Then fight me again. Gaara said as he inserted his tokens in. Whoa. Naruto jumped back. Where did you come from? Did you win, Naruto? Hinata asked when she was standing next to him. Nah. Double knockout, 3 times in a row. Naruto said as he walked back up to the controls. Where were you? Playing SNK with Gaara. She smiled. Who's that? Naruto asked as he furiously mashed buttons. That would be me. Gaara answered. He seemed calm but extremely tense. Oh. Did you go easy on her? Naruto laughed. No. He said coldly. What a gentleman. Naruto said sarcastically. I beat him 5 times. Hinata laughed. What? Naruto stopped paying attention to the game and ended up losing. After he had absorbed what he just learned, he looked at Gaara and started laughing. You lost. He kept laughing. Technically, so did you. Naruto stopped laughing. Ha. You lost to me, and I lost to her. So in a way she beat you too. He smiled a sadistic smile and walked away. Kankuro, I'm leaving right now. He said as he passed him and walked out the theater. I might as well go too. Hinata tried to hide her giggle but failed. Naruto noticed this and stuck his tongue out at her. When did you start playing games anyways? He asked as they searched for Shikamaru. I've always played. It's just been a secret. Hinata said. They walked to the DDR machines where Temari and Shikamaru were. They cheered them on as they played, and after they were done they stepped up to play. Hinata was almost as great as Temari and Naruto was just as bad as Shikamaru. On the way home. Today was fun, wasn't it? Naruto asked Hinata as they walked home. Yeah, it was. We should hang out as a group more. She said as she turned to Shikamaru and Temari. Hey, I know, how about we go on a double date sometime? Temari asked as she clung to Shikamaru's arm. That sounds like fun, right? We can get to know each other a little better as well. Yeah, when will that be? Shikamaru gulped as he said that. Well, we have to start studying for finals in my school, so not anytime soon. Temari said. You go to a different school? Naruto asked. Yeah, I go to Suna High. He hasn't told you anything about that? She asked and gave Shikamaru a scowl. No, he hasn't even mentioned you. Hinata said. Well then. She looked to the road and saw a bus starting to pull over. Crap, that's my bus. See ya next time. She winked at them. They all waved goodbye. I really don't think I'm ready for a girlfriend. Shikamaru sighed. The two clingy and pushy. Hinata and Naruto laughed. Don't worry, you'll get used to it. Alright guys, I'm heading home. See ya on Monday. Bye, they both said and walked in opposite directions. So how's school been without me? Naruto asked as he wrapped his arm around her waist. It's been kind of weird. We're used to having you around, you know. Hinata answered. As they walked towards Hinata's home, they talked about a lot things. Mostly school-related stuff. Naruto would have to catch up on a lot of work. Sakura seemed a bit depressed, so Hinata had thought that she needed a boyfriend. She tried to set her up with Hayato, but he refused. She left out how they had met, and what he had said because she didn't want to make Naruto mad. When they arrived at her house, Neji was outside by the gate. Arms crossed and eyes stern. He was tapping his foot on the floor impatiently. Is that Neji? Naruto asked as soon as he saw him. Quote. It is. What's he doing here? Hinata asked as they walked closer. Once they were within speaking distance, Neji began to shout. Why the hell didn't you show up today? Or Wednesday for that matter? He got into a fighting stance. Whoa, Neji, calm down. Naruto jumped back. Neji. Naruto was in the hospital all week. He was just released today. So what? If he had the strength to go out on a date with you, he should have the strength for a quick fight. His eyes glowed. That makes no sense. Watching a movie is nothing compared to a fight. Tell ya what, how about we fight next week? You pick the day. Naruto said. Why not now? He still might be hurt. And if you beat him like that, you know that wouldn't really count as a victory. Hinata said. Fine. I'll tell you when on Monday. He reached for his backpack on the floor and slung it over his right shoulder and walked away. Hinata sighed and looked at Naruto. Do you want to come in? What about your dad? Won't he get mad? Don't worry, he's out until late tonight. And he gave the butlers and maids the day off. You could come in and relax for a while. She opened the gate and invited him with her hand. Okay, I'll make sure to leave early so you don't get in trouble. He said with a goofy smile and walked into her mansion. It's been a while since I was last here. Naruto. Hanabi shrieked and came out of nowhere and tackled him to the ground. Ugh. Naruto grunted when he hit the ground. Oh Hanabi. How ya been? Better than you've been this past week. She laughed. What are you doing Hanabi? Hinata said as she picked her sister off her boyfriend. I just wanted to say hi. Say it the normal way. Hinata said. What? Just say hi. That's the boring way. So you're finally out of the hospital, huh? How do you know that I was in there? Naruto turned his head to Hinata. I didn't say anything. I was reading it in her diary. Hinata's face grew red with anger and embarrassment. Yeah, she writes everything down in there. What she did, how many times she kissed you, her dreams. Oh, speaking of dreams, you should hear what she was dreaming about Wednesday night. That's enough. Hinata shouted and chased her sister up the stairs. A while later, Hinata descended down the stairs. She had changed from her school uniform to more comfortable clothes. Sorry about that, she said, she just gets so annoying. It's alright. They walked into the living room and turned on the TV. They sat down on her, oh so comfortable, couch. So what was your dream anyways? Hinata's face became red once again. It's nothing. It was just a dream. It was not something perverted, was it? Naruto laughed as he inched closer to her. And no, it wasn't. Hinata moved to the left of the sofa. Then, he crept closer. What's the problem? Hinata could not move anymore. Well, it's kind of embarrassing. But it involved us making out, that's all I'm gonna say. Like this. Naruto's hands turned Hinata's face to him and kissed her lips. Hinata closed her eyes and kissed him back. Naruto let go of her face as his tongue entered her mouth. Hinata made and curled her fingers into Naruto's hands. Without even realizing it, Hinata was on her back with Naruto on top of her. Both of them kissing each other like mad. They finally parted lips and Hinata gasped for air. Like that, she turned back to the TV and sat quietly and watched it. Hinata leaning on Naruto's shoulder. Whoa, Hanabi whispered to herself. She was sitting near the edge of the second floor and had witnessed the whole thing. That's making out, huh? She closed her phone. I got all on here. Few hours later, the door opened and Hinata's father stepped into the house. He sighed as he hung his jacket near the entrance. People nowadays, he muttered to himself. I thought that I would never leave. He sighed once again and looked at the clock. 10 o'clock. Time really sure does fly. He hung his keys and walked into the living room. That will be all for this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below for more videos. Goodbye.